Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you are well. Day 3 of the United States Track and Field Championships to pick the team for the Tokyo World Championships. Things are going on. I'm not quite sure where all the streaming stuff is happening. So just so you know, today NBC coverage kicks in. I think that kicks in at 3:55 p.m. at 4 o'clock p.m. rather. So another 51 minutes or 55 minutes or so, and they have the exclusive rights there. So far, I was watching some the Discus stream earlier. I'm waiting to see if they'll activate some other streams in a minute because they'll they'll certainly show us the triple jump, long jump. But from a standpoint of what's coming up on the track, in another 7 minutes or so, the opening round of the men's 100-meter hurdles should be on the track. 110-meter hurdles rather, and then we should transition into the women's opening round for the hurdles. And by the time you get to 4 o'clock is when the finals of the women's 400 meters, and that will also be on Peacock or whatever NBC platforms if you're in the United States. But right now I'm just seeing nothing, so I'm hoping that they'll at least show on their end the opening rounds in the 110-meter hurdles and the 100-meter hurdles for women. If not, I'll be highly disappointed, but it doesn't matter. We can all chat in the meantime and so on. And speaking of that, all football is in the house. Hope I'm doing. I saw that I was watching the British Championships earlier. I didn't get to see everything, but I managed to see Daryl Nita getting disqualified, so that is not good. If my understanding is correctly, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, they're all football. Dina Asher Smith took the medical exemption, right? So that means only one can be selected for Team GB through that. So I guess what I'm saying is that means Darlita might not be selected for the team. I know she has the World Championship standards, and not everybody has that. So there's a possibility there. But she was DQ'd, which is, you never like to see that, but it's one of those things. Zarnell Hughes winning the men's equivalent there ahead of Azu and Hincliffe coming in at the end. We can put the results up in a second. Good performances today. I didn't, as I said, at British Championships, I didn't get to see everything. I was pleased with Molly Caudry there, equaling, I think, her season best over the pole vault 485, which is a good jump for her. A good jump when you think about the overall landscape for women's pole vault. She's in good mix. Only the Mull sisters are ahead of her, Amanda 491, and I think actually only Mull is ahead of her, not both of them. Yeah, so Amanda is ahead with that 491 there. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of stuff coming up this evening, and good to see people floating in on the channel. The dog is asking, is Kenny and Noah competing in the 200s? I think so. Kenny for sure. I think Noah is, unless he pulled out in a last minute. I haven't gotten all the updates, but he should be. But the 200s are not today; it's tomorrow. So they're doing, I think, the opening rounds for the 200 will happen at 3:05 tomorrow, I think, Eastern Standard Time, and then final. So I think you got to qualify straight away from that into a final. So no 200s today, if I have that correct. Yeah. Let me get back to some comments. Yeah, big up to you. Anika, how are you doing? Afternoon. Full day of championships, and cricket won't make it better until midnight. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. Yeah, West Indies playing that second match later on. I'm gonna watch it. Depending on how I feel, I may come back and do a watch along for that. I'm not been happy with a watch along in cricket for a while, so I sometimes get too upset when that happens. So we'll see. Yeah. I think I'm getting back some action here from the USATF. Well, they just switched to the pole vault, it looks like here. So hopefully we'll get to see opening rounds of the hurdles, because I'm intrigued to see what's happening in the hurdles. They can't afford to just take that away from us. So I'm hoping to see that, but who knows? Yeah. What have you guys been up to? I've been watching cricket too this morning. England and Australia and India rather. It's interesting. England needs now 324 runs to win, 50 for 1. Jaiswal was really good. Those drop catches from England really proved bad as the kid decided to make a century there. So a good cricket going on there too if you want to see high quality cricket as well. Just since we mentioned cricket. Anika says we need the therapy. Watch along is for you on. Yeah, we'll see. Asira, what's going on? I haven't seen you all weekend, man. How you been? Just waiting for some stuff to heat up here at the US Championships. Earlier in today, I think I got up this morning and I was watching a little bit of the race walk, but then I stopped watching that, to be honest with you. I was prioritizing cricket over that, but they had a women's 20K this morning and the men's 20K race walk earlier today. Yeah. So on the track soon should be the men's 110 meter hurdles. Just a quick check to the discus. I'll put the results up for the men's discus too. This was the results earlier today. I was watching a little bit of it, but I didn't get every detail there. So Jaga's winning in 66.85, and Matt is 64.82, and Evans 64.16. Those are the guys that made it through. 66. I don't know what the conditions were like for throwing today. It was a bit chillier earlier today, but it's I think 70 something degrees while they were throwing, so that shouldn't be a big deal. As you know, men's discus is way out there this year. You're talking about if you want a medal for sure, you got to be going 70 meters and above. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Things are coming on Peacock at 4 p.m. today, or if you have a local NBC, you should get that as well. I'm hoping that they show but before you get to I think before we get to NBC's coverage, hurdles will be completed by then. Triple jump will also start today as well at 3:40 p.m. Jasmine Jones, Jasmine Moore rather, I expect her to win this. I think she would have been a little bit disappointed not to make the US team for the long jump like she did last year. Shot put for women also on tap this evening. It's going to be good. Chase Jackson already with that 2095. I think she did that 2094 as well. It's going to be really good. Jada Ross also has a 20 meter. So that will be really good. Maggie Ewan is always in the mix too. So I'm looking forward for that as well. Men's pole vault will come up at 350. Kendricks is there. He already had a 590 this season. Casey Lightfoot's still around. So we'll see. Austin Miller also has a 591. So there's a couple of guys with World Championship standards already there. So we'll wait for that and see. Lots of people coming in through on the comments. Let me get through a few of them. Monica is saying, I think we have a poll running to really rooting for Mullings in the discus this year. Yeah, he looked good this year too in the NCAA championships. And as you know, the NCAA championships was wild. They had Mikolas Anelka was there. So he has a lot of ability. Hopefully he can pull something out for sure. Rock Hill says cricket not too far from me, Pakistan versus West Indies, but it's too hot outside. So you're down there in Florida, it seems like. Yeah, I don't know. I've been disappointed. I don't understand what West Indies is doing. At 6 T20s on the bounce, they've lost there, and a lot of questions to be answered, but we'll see. Asira says, okay, I know you always come with the controversial stuff. AIU needs to take a look at Dennis Mitchell's training camp. Taylor White does nothing for 7 years, only to emerge as a silver medalist at the National Trials. That camp needs critical investigation. Okay, couple of things I'll say here. One, if that is an issue, and this is a big if, I don't want to class aspersions or anything like that. What usually happens now is targeting. So if there are performances that look suspect, AIU, WADA, these guys usually make a step to start investigating, assuming they think that that's an issue. So they will start these targeted drug enforcement thing. That's the new thing that they're doing. They work with a lot of cooperation on a number of fronts for that, if that's an issue. So if you're speculating that you think things are going bad there, then um, then we'll have to see. Give me a second here. I think I may have some issues. I'm still, yeah. I don't know what's going on. My mic is still going on. A producer was saying my mic is off. Yeah. Yeah. So just to finish that point, I think if there's some issues, then they would spend some time investigating. To be honest with you, and I don't really know. I don't have any. It's a big camp. There's a lot of athletes there. There are a lot of fast athletes as well. So who knows? It might be their season at the moment. Yeah. Uh, Rachel says, "Trust and believe everyone will be tested. Will be tested that place." Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of testing. It's probably been happening before. Also, as we know in the sport of track and field, the real testing occurs out of competition. So if there's issues, then that's where you often see people. If you get caught in competition, if you get caught in competition, then something is wrong with you. That means you're stupid. Usually, this is how the drug testers would look at it. Yeah, cool. All right, I think the track and field is on the track, but I'm not getting any of that right now, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure what to say. I think the first heat was won by Cordell Tinch in 13:34, ahead of Schulman 13:46 and Marshall 13:51. But I currently don't have access to it from USA Track and Field. They're not showing it, so I suspect that means NBC has the rights for that too, and they probably will package that when they get on to the stream at 4 o'clock. That's my only suspicion right now. Yeah. Unless anyone else can watch it someplace, but I'm not seeing it at all. Right. So that will, and so the second heat is going to come up, and that will feature Crittenden. I don't even know what I can't see it, so I can't comment on it right now. Yeah. I actually can hear it now that I'm putting on my thing, but they're not showing it at all on the USA track and I wonder if I switch to a VPN. I don't want to mess with the VPN on this now since I'm streaming here, but I might be able to watch it outs. I think it's available outside of the international if you're international right now. Well, sorry guys, I came early thinking that we would be able to watch all of these things, but they're not featuring it right now. In a half an hour or so, we'll get less than half an hour. In about 8 minutes, they'll start the women's triple jump. So at least when that starts, we can start motoring away. Actually, now they're showing. Got it. We're good now. Finally, someone has sense. Yeah. So that looks like Beard out there in lane, and he's hitting a lot of hurdles right now. Well, Beard is motoring. I think he's gonna win this. Someone is. I don't know who that's in lane two. I think it's Crittenden in lane two. So Dylan Beard there, 13-13 ahead of Crittenden, 13-46. Parish 13-92. And I caught the race midway, so once I get it on replay, I can get a better sense of what's going on there. Let's see. I don't know who is. I think that was Dunning there at the end that didn't finish, and he was hitting a lot of hurdles. Beard was hitting a few too. He touched the first, the second he touched, third he starts and pop them down. He hit another one. He's not good hurdling there in terms of clean hurdling, but he'll be happy with that. Yeah. Mm. All right, so they're back in the discus right now. I think this is Joseph White. Not particularly. Still six. That's about 61 meters. So Jager's there at 66.85. Mathis 65.56. Yeah. All right. So the next semifinal will be on track. Will feature Britt Brown, not semifinal, opening round of the 110 hurdles. Britt Brown, Scott Williams. Grant Holloway is supposed to be in lane six, but I'm not seeing him. And Wilson and Harrison. Oh, actually, I'm seeing Holloway now. He was just adjusting his gear. So Holloway is indeed out there. All right, so they're just introducing everybody right now. What's up, Cheryl? What are you saying here? A certain hater stated Jamaican athletes were not tested, so USC athletes were tested. I'm not sure if I probably missed that comment there. Yeah. But yeah, if I wasn't clear, I want to say that if there are what people might see as unusual performances, they will target. I have no evidence, no anything to suggest that anything is untoward. You have to take Mitchell out of it and his career when he was, yeah, that's a different story as opposed to what's happening now. If if things are if something is all right, then we'll figure that out. But at this moment, I have no evidence or anything to suggest that otherwise. All right, so the guys are getting into the blocks here. Grant Holloway, as you know, picked up an injury from indoor season. He wasn't at his best. Then he stopped running for a bit to heal. Then he came back recently. Wasn't looking anywhere close to his best, but that doesn't mean much because he's really good. All right, so there's a clean start. Holloway first to hurdle one. He's hurdling really good. No one close to him at the moment. He's looking really smooth. A little bit rugged here at the end, but he's going to win this. Into a headwind, 13-16 there. Officially now 13-15 for the defending champion, the Olympic champion, quite possibly the greatest 110 hurdler we've ever seen when you look at the body of work. We can argue around that, but he's certainly up there, very close to the world record some years ago, just 100 of a second outside of it, I think, right? I'm looking at it again. He's working hard here. You could see he's pumping. It's not the smoothest of Grant Holloway we've seen, but he's coming back from injury. He still has some time to work himself into shape, and I think he'll be fine. So it's Holloway ahead of Brit 13:25, Scott 13:34. This opening round, a lot of people can get through here. So yeah, currently in progress right now is the men's final. It's Jaga still in the lead in 66.85 for the discus. Matha 65.56. Gutseven 64.51. Evans 64.16. Triple jump final will start in another 12 minutes, along with the women's shot put coming up as well, men's pole vault. And by the time we get to 4 o'clock, we'll have the finals of the women's 400 meters. Let me know your predictions on that. Coming into today's final, Sydney McLaughlin Levrone looked the best of everybody. I think she certainly looks like she wants to take this. I want to see what Isabella Whittaker will do. Yeah, Britton Wilson, Aaliyah Butler could come from way out there in lane 9. Who knows? Irby Jackson, Alexis Holmes. It's going to be a cracking final for sure. High quality athletes here. It should be quick. I think it's going to probably be a better final than the men, but who knows? As we saw yesterday, no Quincy Wilson eliminated in the first round yesterday, which is shocking. And yeah, we'll see. Sonia, how you doing? Good to have you back as usual. Hopefully you're doing well. Appreciate everybody coming through. Seeing Mathis now in the sector here. Ooh, that's a big throw. That looks like it's. No, it's not going to be better than 66. It looks good, but I don't think it's better than 66. Track for all, what's going on? Will Sydney break the American record in the 400? I think she can. I don't know if she can do it today. That's a good question. She was close to it some years ago. Yeah. Condition seems like it's right. It depends on how she comes off. She has to work hard. She has to run the first 200 really hard if she's going to have a shot at it. I'm not sure what type of shape she's in right now, but she would have to run really hard. Oh, that's a big one there from Jagas. This might be better than his first throw. Than his 66.85. Let's see. No, it still didn't beat his first. It was 66.55. So 66.85 wins the national title for Jagas. Yeah. Back to your point there. I don't know if she's in a 40 in a sub 48 what's the record 48.70 from Richards Ross. I think she has the ability to do it. Whether she'll do it today, I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. Will she break it if she continues to focus on the flat 400 meters? I think that's I'm confident that that will more likely happen than not. Asira, Whitaker and Butler will make the team. So you're already staking your claim for who else will make the team behind Sidney McLaughlin. So we're in Trey Cunningham here. No Daniel Roberts for the 110 hurdles here. So it's a DNS. Cunningham, the favorite for me here. He's already looking good this season. I think he ran 13 flat on a couple of occasions. So this should be comfortable running here for Trey Cunningham. So there's Waring, Murray, Smallwood, Duskin, Franklin, Atkinson, and Noah Roberts. This is like a training run. You just need to finish the race and qualify because there's not a lot of people in this race. So I think it's the top 6 that go through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it? Yeah. So clean start there. Cunningham ahead of everybody right now. He's just kind of moving. Murray also looking good. But this is going to be Trey Cunningham here by a few meters. So Trey Cunningham, 13:10 is the official time ahead of Smallwood and Franklin. Cheryl says, "Are we on record watch women's 100 come September from Jefferson? What American record? No, which is the world record? No, okay. I'm gonna go out and say I'm gonna say this one more time. I don't think the person to break the 100-meter world record for women, I don't know if they're alive, or if they are, they're in diapers right now. That is way, way out there. I'm I just can't see that. I'm happy to be proven wrong. If the question you're asking is, will we get a couple more women approaching going sub 10.6? I think it's certainly possible that between Alfred and Jefferson Wooden, it might be the case that they go really, really low 10.6s again and potentially dipping below 10.6 if the conditions are right. I think to go 10.5 requires conditions. But world record, no, no, no. Chuck for all says, watch out for Irby Jackson and Wilson. I know I agree too. I think Britton Wilson should not be underestimated. I think she's a fabulous athlete. Irby Jackson there as well. She'll have to run the race of her life. The kind of challenge too is that she will be right behind Sydney, so she can not challenge. That's a good thing for her, so she can gauge what's going on there. Britain is in lane 7. She would have to work a bit hard on the curve, but we'll see. Alexis Holmes in 2. She needs to run a race of her life to make the team. I really like her, but she doesn't always give you what you want at the right time. Yeah. Cheryl Brommel disappointed me. I'm not sure. I haven't listened to his interview post race. I would say, he equaled his season best for the year. We were anticipating that he would run faster, but he did look like he has some strapping on the leg, at least in the semifinals. We saw that. So I'm not. I don't know where how to make what to make of that, to be honest with you. It could be the case that he was still feeling something, but we'll see. Asira says her the women's 100-meter hurdles is not predictable. It's too yeah. Anybody who bets on the with confidence that they know who can win the 100-meter hurdles for women, I think they're lying there. You just don't know. On any given day, there's a group of women that can turn it on, and they all are capable of winning. This season, for me, Grace Stark is brilliant. First, she has to make the team. Masai Russell looked good earlier before she picked up some niggles. Megan Tapper now is looking fabulous. But, Kambunji's working her way through. We won't see Tia Jones today. I think she picked up something. So it's like one of those things. Toby Amazon, the world record holder, starting to find some form again. Ran a couple good races on the circuit. You can't predict this at all. It's just it's the most competitive event in all of track and field right now. No, sure. World record is too far. It's too far. So Jared, I'm not sure I'm missing some of the did Kenny from Texas run yet? I I'm not sure. Maybe I missed that. I guess you're not liking Brummel or you're disappointed there. Objectivity, what's going on? Greetings. Jared said a new era of men's sprinting. Yeah, yeah. Potentially, there are a bunch of people who are working their way through. I would say, you have there's some youngsters, but it's not fully over yet. Grace Stark on the track right now. Uh, yeah, you have to like what you see. There's some kids coming through. There's gonna be the Gout kid at some point. There's some, South Africa has a few athletes. The Jamaican guys are coming back, so they're very, very young in terms of the cycle. So you should get a bunch of them too. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Oh yeah, he came seventh, I think. Jared, let me check it again. We can put up results, or I can ask my producer to put up results at some point. But yeah, I think he did come seventh. Yeah. So he qualified though, so he'll be back tomorrow. Yeah. So women's 100-meter hurdles on track right now. Heat one featuring Grace Stark, also Kenny Harrison, the former world record holder there, Cunningham, Hinlock, and Torian as well. So that's coming up on right now. They're getting into their blocks right now. I'll get to back to your comments after I watch this. So this is going to be competitive, probably very fast. Top two go through, and you're looking at Grace Stark and Kenny Harrison here. Stark to me, beautiful when she gets it right. She's like really compact over the hurdles. It's a joy to watch. Sometimes she goes a little bit too fast and clips a few, but let's see. Yeah, see what we get here. Clean start, Grace Stark ahead of Kenny Harrison right now. Stark hurdling really well. Kenny Harrison running back into it. So it's going to be Stark and Harrison side by side. 12:35. Really good time there. Really fast time there from Grace Stark. A .6 win. 12:34 official time now coming through. 12:39 for Kenny Harrison. Those two automatically into the next round. The rest have to wait. I'll get to your comments in a second. Uh, I think I did partially address your new era of men's sprinting. Yeah, that might be true. We'll have to see. Asir says, "What happened between the two lovebirds in Seattle?" Don't fully know what happened in terms of what caused anything. We saw everything there. The police reporting suggests that Richardson shoved Coleman hard enough that it looked as if uh, s- something was going bad. You know, he crashed into a column, and at some point later, she tossed her headphones at him. So, what led to that, I have no idea. And yeah, but good thing track and field is on right now, so we'll see. Jared said, "I think Coleman and Brummel are done for Team USC as much as I love them." Team USA. I I don't know. Well, Coleman is there. I don't know. There, he's not done. He's there. I think Brummel still can serve. He can still. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can write these athletes off it because we sometimes we write off athletes to our peril, right? You know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, making the top three spots. You mean? Okay, I see. Trackfall says Cheryl is right. The women's 100 this year may be one of the most competitive seasons for one event. Yeah, it is. Did I miss Cheryl's comment on this? If I did, yeah. No, it is the most competitive event in track and field. Yeah. It's possible the world record could go. I don't know. Conditions have to be right. Yeah. It's certainly one of the events that I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to 800 meters this year for men. Uh, Women's shot put this year is going to be on fire. I think the women's long jump is going to be a barn burner as well. When you think about what will happen, Tara Davis Woodall in fine form. I think Mahambo is coming back into great form. You already see really good 7 meter jumpers there. Yapachino. Uh, we can name Claire Bryant might step up. We can name a few. I think that would be a space where it's going to be really nice and testy. Yeah. Jai said, love Kenny. Wild to see Trey beat Grant and Trey coming back so heavy this season. Yeah, I think Cunningham is in good shape. Grant, he has some injuries. He struggled this year, but he's here. And I think the only reason why he's running is because he's trying to run into form. I'm not sure if he'll run late in this later on. He's the defending champion. He doesn't have to do that. Yeah, yeah. Objectivity says world record not going. Yeah, that's never go. You meant in the 100, right? Yeah, it could go in the 100-meter hurdles. Jared also isn't happy about a thing. Yeah, a thing has a challenging time. I watched her interview yesterday, the one before. She seems quite reflective on where she is at the moment. I wish her the very best because this is a 154 athlete at best who had the ability to go below 154, I believe. So let's hope. Someone had asked a question if she's still happy with Bobby Kersey, and she seems fine. She's like she's still learning Bobby. He's still learning her. We could take it what that really means, but I think overall her sentiment is that she's happy there. There are also questions about whether she is happy about just not having more, whether she would benefit from having training partners, and that might be a useful thing. So there may be some serious discussions that they may have to have, but she's young, she's still there as long as she can get back in, and she's trending down. So if she runs on the circuit until the end of the season, you never know. If she could get into great shape and find out, run a couple Diamond League. I don't know if she can get into the Diamond League final, but because she hasn't run any before, but potentially if she could win some things, then she could try to get to the championships. But I don't know. Let's see where we are here. Asira says, I think Coleman is a bit overweight. That's what I observed. I, I don't know. I didn't. It didn't. That wasn't noticeable to me, to be honest with you. But I could look at it again. I was more concerned that his starting wasn't the way you would want it to be. He did eventually get it right or get it better, but it's not the same type of start that we're used to from a Kristen Coleman. But I'm not. I think he'll be happy. Uh, his was a season best for him yesterday. I know the win is 1.8, but you run 986, you don't make the team. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it doesn't suggest to me that we should write you off right away. Likewise for Brummel, he just missed out by, it was 983 to 984, 982 for Lindsay. So it was really tight there after Kung Fu Kenny. So it's one of those things. I'll get to the this 100-meter hurdles right now on track, and then then I'll come back to your comments. I appreciate the comments coming through. Please continue to get them on the channel. As you know, I try to read everyone. I read everyone. If I miss it, it's just by accident. All right, so clean start here. Masai Russell motoring, looking really good. She's Is that Armstrong right there as well? But Masai Russell opening up on the rest. She's gonna. Ooh, oh. 12:24 flash time here. What's the wind? 1.5. 12:25 there for Masai Russell ahead of Aliyah Armstrong. 12:48. 12:44 rather. And Christina Clemens there running to get that third spot. She'll have to wait around to see. So those two automatically through. Russell and Armstrong. Let's clean hurdling there for Masai. Clemens looking good as well. Coming down to get ahead of Aliyah. Coming down to get ahead of Armstrong, rather looking good to get ahead of Clemens. I like the hurdling here from Armstrong too. It's not as smooth. She's a little bit too high over a few of them, but they can work on that. Masai looks like she's back in form. So right now, bubble times, Christina Clemens has to like that. She's what, 12:58 right now. Then Hooven 12:75. Let me get back to your comments right now. I see a couple of people coming through. Appreciate everybody coming through here. I think I'm trying to figure out where I was. Oh yeah, objectivity say yeah in a flat 100 for sure. There's no way that's happening. Jared said, "I'm excited to see what Sydney will do by the time Tokyo comes." Yeah, let's see. We'll see her in a couple of minutes. She has to make the team for sure. But if I don't think we're doubting that. I think she will go to the World Championships in fighting shape. Hopefully, I still put my money on Paulino all day and twice on Sundays, and NASA has been good all season too. So it's going to be interesting. Sherwood, what's up? I think plus Bobby is not a good combination so far. It's been long enough. No, I think you are correct on that. I was waiting a little bit more. Let's see. The end of the season is crucial for her. So I would hope, or I would like for her to continue running until the season is over. If I think can continue running and improve, if she get back, if she were to say go a 157 or even better before the season is over on a couple of Diamond League meetings here, then we could say, okay, maybe the body can work a little bit more. But if she can't get back to those numbers, there's a serious question. If she wants to stay in the California area, her college coach is there right now, so she could just make that move if necessary. That's how I would think about it. Here says, if Christina Clemens make the team, that will be one of the biggest stories in America track and field. I don't know if she'll make it, to be honest with you, but she's into the next. I think she'll get into the next round for sure. Uh, she's on the bubble now. We're looking for Marshall in the next one, along with Johnson and Webster, McCormick. I suspect that she'll get through on that. There is no spoon. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to you. 4 by 200 over mixed relays all day. I I I think so. I don't like the mixed 4 by one. I'm not sure I see why that's the case. I'm okay with the mixed 4 by 4. It's better. There's less likelihood of making errors with the exchange. I think when you think about the exchanges in a 4 by one, we saw a couple of that at the World Relays this year, although not as catastrophic as I thought it would have been. Yeah, I would prefer a 4 by 2 over that any day. But actually, I would actually prefer to see something like a 4 by 8. You know, a 4 by 8 would be neat. It wouldn't be that long. It would also give some incentives for the guys in and women in 8 and 15 to try their hand. Maybe a 400-meter athlete might want to try a 4 by 8. You know, that I think there's scope for that too. Yeah. Ferdinand is in the house too. I'm seeing there a lot of people coming through. Fast track, so fast time for you. Common sense is saying for Eugene. Paulino over Sydney, never for Jared. Paulino will be too much for Sydney, according to common sense. Yeah, there's no right now. Paulino is the best. I'm not saying that can't be changed. That can't change, but I'm not worried about it. I I think Anklar has an. Let me just watch this race right now. So good start there from Marshall and Alicia Johnson moving to. So it's going to be Marshall and Johnson back to back together. They're going to cross the line almost the same time. 12:47, 12:46 officially, 12:47 for second place. So it's Marshall over Johnson. So that means Clemens is safe for sure. Marshall looked comfortable. Looked like she has more in the legs there. Let's see. I don't think anyone will beat her in this race in the next 2 to 3 years. This or 400-meter, unless she's injured or some crazy star comes, she's on a different level. I think you're referring to Sydney. The 400 is a ball game, right? She's talented, but it's a different ball game. She has to run it well. There's still a level of managing it, but Sydney is very good, so we'll see. Ferdinand, what's up? South Africa flag all day. Virginia High, she's saying Paulina beating Sydney. Jared said, "I'll bet everyone here." I don't bet Jared, but you know, maybe people in the chat that will. Objectivity is not a. It's not about the coach for a thing. Bobby just forget how to condition an athlete. It's an interesting point. You think he forgot? I, yeah. Uh, so we're gonna switch over to some. Gotta switch over to to NBC in a second here. Because the coverage here is over. The next thing on the track will be some finals, but let me make sure I get a switch over on the Peacock here because I don't want to miss out. I have it also on a television screen, so yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to go over to the triple jump is supposed to be in progress right now, so I'm gonna have that right now. I think Jasmine Moore is in the lead with 14:29. I'm not sure anybody else is gonna come close to that. so she should be okay there. All right, back to your comments. Uh yeah, I don't know. Did I finish the point on this? I'm not sure. I mean, Bobby's a world class athlete. He's been conditioning athletes for years. I'm not sure that's an issue, to be honest with you. I think there's more to the story than meets the eye. It's not working out the way it should, but she also had some injuries, so we'll have to wait and see what happened there. Yeah, yeah. Um, but if I would say if she want if it doesn't work out, it's fine to leave too. I don't think it would be a big deal. You know, athlete should think about what's in our best interest. Virginia says y'all think Sydney can beat anyone. Yeah. Track for all 800-meter. Radisha has 7 sub 142. One only has 6, but is only 21. Do you think he break the world record this year or next? I think he can break the world record. It just depends on if the conditions are right. Last year, look, that run he did in Nairobi last year, if we do all of the backhand calculation, it suggested that it may have been a better run than the Rhodesia run because he ran at 800 in altitude, and that was saying something when he did at 141 in altitude. Of the lot, he's most likely to break it, I would say, because he has a lot of upside. The 800 meters is such a special place. We keep talking about guys running 141 and not getting on the podium last year. You got Tual, you got Sadrati, you have Atui, Marco Arap, Bryce. There's a bunch of people there that the competition is at an all-time level. Masalele can do things too. I'm just spitballing the names off the top of my head. I may be missing a few too. If you get into the right competition, it can happen. I can see it happening on the circuit for sure. If with some, if they have the pacing right on it. But it could also happen in competition because the 800 meters is in such a great place at the moment. So I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. I think Wanyoni was asked about this. When was it? A couple Diamond Leagues ago. And he's basically then he's not chasing it. He knows the body is somewhere there. They'll just hopefully it happen. So then he's not chasing the world record, but I think he's most capable of the lot to break the 800-meter world record. Yeah. And bearing in mind that I never thought we would be at the stage where that we would be making these kinds of assessments this early. I thought when Rhodesia destroyed that, I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. And I never thought anyone would be better than Kipkika. Then Rhodesia came and he changed the game. He could have even lasted longer if he didn't fall out of love with the sport. And we know his off the field, off the track issues that popped up. So his career, he could have probably been a bit more dominant at the end in terms of the overall record. But to see Wanyoni coming through at the moment now, I think he's most capable of doing it, and it's likely going to happen potentially this year or in another couple of years. Sherwood says, however, the goal this year was the World Championship. The goal last year was the Olympics. I think made neither team. No, that's a very good point. Yeah, neither. That's an excellent point. You can't argue with that. I think I'm with you on this. Probably, maybe it's time. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, let's see. Asir says, how many of these American athletes can replicate these times in Europe and other places outside of America? A lot of them, I mean, most of them are always on the circuit, right? So, yeah. Jared, I can't recall if Sydney has lost a 400 or 400-meter hurdles in the last 3 years or four. I don't. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. Wanyoni is young, right? Well, you think he's older than that? I think he's 21, right? Am I right? Yeah, he was born in '04. He's 21. Yeah. He's 20, 22 and all. He just turned 21. Yeah. Ferdinand says it's sad that Tia Jones is injured. I agree. I definitely agree. I'm, I'm seeing Sidney McLaughlin right now on my screen. I'll get back to your comments in a second. So 400-meter final on track right now. Rosie Effion, Alexis Holmes, Joseph Jackson, Irby Jackson rather, McLaughlin Lerone, Whitaker, Wilson, Hayes, Butler. I love to see Whitaker and Wilson on the team. I like them, but you can't count out Butler either. It's going to be fire. All right, let me see where we are on these comments in the that I missed a few here. Jared said I had slow time I think you guys doing some internal conversations here, so I'm not worried about it. No. All right, Aaliyah Butler there on screen. I'm taking this all in right now. And I have the triple jump right now. The triple jump is still more in the lead, 14:29, I think here. Stevenson's 13:33. All right. Really, Ferdinand? I didn't see that. 72:15. That's wild there from Anetka. He's in the form of his life. He has to deliver come Tokyo. Otherwise, it's going to be one of those things. Anika said 800 meters just as competitive as 100-meter hurdles. It's close. Not as competitive, I don't think, in terms of the overall number. But it's very close. All right, so Sydney McLaughlin already eating up the stagger here. She's eating up the back stretch. She's way ahead of everybody, it looks like right now. She's motoring away. It's like wild running there for McLaughlin. Isabella Whitaker also making a big move to be in the mix too. Aaliyah Butler also running the race of her life. Irby Jackson there too. But McLaughlin is leading them off with about 2 to 3 meters now. She's extending this. This is going to be sub 49. Isabella Whitaker there running the race of our life to come in second. McLaughlin there really struggling at the end, but running really hard. 48.92. That's a big time for her. Season best performance. Whitaker 49.59. Butler 49.91. Irby Jackson there in fourth place, 50.06. That was an excellent execution by Sydney McLaughlin. I think you could see at the end she was trying to hold on for form there. She went out really hard, took everything from Whitaker right there on the stagger, and was pushing it. A slight relaxation on the curve, but she came through. Let's look at her from the front on. She's trying to hold that form right there. You could see her grimace somewhat. That's a lot of running there for McLaughlin. She really put in a lot in there. Yeah, you could look at the face. I think she was actually going for the American record. Looks disappointed a little bit there, but 48.90, that's a good time. Excellent there. So it's going to be Butler and Whitaker that joins McLaughlin Lavrone. All right, let me get back to some comments here. Daniel Jr. says Sid looks ready to do some damage. Hopefully she does. Well, she just did some damage right there. Struggling. All three of them are on the ground. Lewis Johnson looked like he's having a conversation. Not sure what he's saying. Track for Hall all is saying Sydney 400-meter hurdles 50.37 translates to about 48.37 400, and she runs sub 48 splits. Yeah, doesn't always automatic do it that way, but I know what you're saying. I'm happy for Whitaker too. She's been having a decent, a more than decent season. Now she has a what 49-2 this season as well. Sydney Britton Whitaker prediction was the prediction for Van Zyl. Didn't turn out that way there, Van Zyl, in the end. Britton Wilson finishing in sixth there. Hayes 51.02, Effion 51.29, and Joseph 51.58. Three women, well, two women going sub 50 and one sub 49. It's a good race there, good race. Sherwood said it doesn't seem Dina made it. However, the second and third finishes Duna. I think Dina applied for an exemption. If you're talking about the British thing, I could be wrong on this, but I think she applied for the exemption. That's why Daryl Nita might be in trouble here in terms of making the team. But she could make the team from a position of meeting the standards because Nita has the standard. But the rest they don't have the standard right away, right? Amy Hunt ran a really good run, PB for her today, 11.2 seconds in the British Championships, but yeah, false start by Darren Nita. Dina Lee, Sydney ain't getting no goal at Tokyo. She probably get a bronze. Dina, I missed the hurdles, just reach home. Can you tell me who's moving from the 100-meter hurdles? We certainly can, Dina. Can we get the summary of the 100-meter and the 110-meter hurdles on screen? We'll put that on in a second for you. The original BI Strong, what's up? Sydney not touching Paulina. I still think Paulina is the best out there and still the standard. And Virginia, what happened to Dina at the championships? I think she asked for the medical exemption, I think. And Daryl got disqualified in the final. She had a reaction time false start. I forgot what it was. I think it was like 0.4 something. So it was, she went out really quick. Yeah. Ferdinand also. Yeah. Amy looked yeah, you're correct on that. I didn't mean that she didn't have the standard. I meant the other women don't have the standard. So it would have been Desiree Henry and Faith. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Akinbeliji, I think, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That who would have gotten the third. What is this? Chase Jackson here. I need to put this on a shot put instead of a triple jump because that's going to be much more interesting here. So Jackson already with a 2084 in the shot put. Let me get that. I want to put that up instead of the triple jump. Yeah, Chase Jackson 20.84 currently, and Maggie Ewan 1994, Jada Ross 1993. Dina had asked about the summary of the hurdles. I don't know if we put it up. If we did, I didn't see it. But Masai Russell is running, leading the pack with 12.25. Ray Stark had a 12:34, Harrison 12:39, Armstrong 12:44, Marshall 12:46, Johnson 12:47, Clemens 12:58, and Hooven 12:25, and Jones 12:81. Those are the 9 women into the final for tomorrow. The original BI Strong says UK Championships is not trials. Nita can still run the 100 for them. Is it? I thought she can't. Well, she can, but they'll have to make an exception. Explain that to me. I thought the way you had to apply, only one person could go with an exemption. Wasn't that the case? You're saying the UK does selections, not trials, similar to. Yeah, I'll have to check the rules on that again. Yeah, I'll get you. I'll get you the men right now to. So the men, almost everybody qualified for the men in a sense, but Trey Cunningham leading the way with 13:10, and Beard has a 13:13, Holloway 13:15, Britt 13:25, Tinch 13:34, Scott 13:35, and yeah, we'll get back to that. Crittenden also qualified. The only big thing was Daniel Roberts didn't show up for the for the event. All right, 400-meter final on track for men right now. You have Jacour, Patterson, Deadman, McRae, Chris Bailey, Norwood. The likes are there. Let's see what we'll get. So it's a clean start right now. This looks like Patterson or and Deadman, they're eating up the thing. Norwood is not running the backstretch the way he should. I think he's going to be out of it by now. So Deadman and Patterson's actually in the mix. And Chris Bailey also running really well too. He's going to have to work if he wants to get back into it. But it's Jacour Patterson that comes off ahead of everybody. Chris Bailey and Norwood trying to run hard. It's going to be Jacour Patterson. It looks like McRae for third. I have to see that again. And Bailey for second. Norwood was fighting there at the end between McRae, but I think actually officially now it's McRae in third, 44-45. Norwood 44-47. Bailey 44-43 for second, and Patterson 44-16. Norwood was sprinting there, but McRae came down on him again. Well, actually, that was Bailey out there, but if you understand what I mean. Well, another South Carolina guy doing some stuff there. Ferdinand says British on selection, same as Dutch. Lika Kava and Femke will run 200 tomorrow. They must just compete. Okay, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe I missed some stuff here. Let me see where we are with. Yeah, no, I know that part for sure. Yeah. Objectivity, Pauline is favored to win, but I don't think she's unbeatable. Sydney has the talent to do much better than she's ever done. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't disagree with that. What history tells us is that Paul Elam will come to the championships in great shape. I think Sydney will get there too in great shape. How quick, how fast? I think you got to go low 48s. I think if Sydney's going to try to win this, she got to break the American record in the process. Go low 48s because I think Paulina is going to go low 48s. And likewise for NASA, I think if NASA ran a lot this season, but she doesn't have to go through a championships as we know, and I think she'll get to the championship fresh. So we'll see. Dina says USA 400 men are cooked with those times. Yeah, the 400 meters is an interesting space this year. I mean, I think Patterson could find his way again. He had a sub 44 earlier this season. He needs to get back to that. But so far, it's still high 43s with the times. McRae also has a sub 44. What is it? 43.91. Nene is the athlete that was a standout so far this season. 43.76. But you have to manage the rounds. Hudson Smith has a 44.10, but I don't know what shape he'll be in. I think he picked up a niggle the other day, right? If I'm not mistaken, I have to check that again. Yeah, the 400, no one is really running any spectacular times that would make you think that it's possible that you don't have to run sub 44 this year and get on the podium. That could really happen, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Objective is saying which is what I'm saying. Sid has the talent to go low 48s. No, I agree. I think Sidney McLaughlin, if she focuses on the 400, 100%, she'll run low 48s for sure. She could definitely potentially challenge going sub 48. I think she definitely has that ability. Yeah. Dina's asking, when will the women's 100-meter final be run tomorrow? Let's see, what time is it tomorrow? So I think it's gonna come before it's the second to last. Tomorrow? What time is it tomorrow? The men is tomorrow at 5:54 p.m. I'm trying to see what time it is. I don't know why it's slipping me right now. Oh, actually, the final 100-meter hurdles is tonight. Sorry, it's 5:25. Yeah. It's 5:25. Yeah. Tomorrow is the men. Yeah. Sorry. I find this utterly disrespectful from NBC. They are running the 100-meter final as if it's just happening. These guys are something else. I don't know why they couldn't just show it last night. Yeah. Yeah, 65 minutes from now. Thanks, original BI Strong. No, look, there's a lot of structural issues with track and field. You guys know my position on this. So I've done a bunch of videos on them. Sometimes people don't watch them, but where earlier this year I was laying it in again on Sebco for the global push for the sport. And in the big market like this, it's a challenge. But NBC has been playing around. They have the rights to this for a multi how many year deal with USA Track, and it's their decision not to put the thing on television until today. I can't believe they're running this as if it's happening now. It's crazy. Let me get back to your comments. The original BI song says NBC's Wicked, same thing they did with the 2008 Olympics. Americans knew the winner 12 hours after that. No, it's true. Yeah, it was crazy. And they had that rights. And yeah, you couldn't even see stuff. You had to be doing all sort of VPN stuff just to do it. They didn't want to show stuff in prime time. I, you know, they own the rights, but they don't promote the thing. When you think about the Diamond League rights they had as well, they didn't, when they had it before Peacock got the Diamond League rights, all they did was to show it on their paid stream platform, which is fine. I mean, they do that with soccer a lot, or American or association football. We all get it. But if they want to grow the thing, they should be running these things on one of their networks. They have so many networks that half the time are just showing nothing. But that's for different. We can discuss that later. Sherwood Sherwood says, no, nothing beats seeing NASA and Paulina battle the last 50. Sydney's going to need to bring it. It is. I think Sydney will have to go really hard and push it, because Paulina is really strong at the end. I think both, if you're going to beat Paulina, and this is for NASA too, you have to go out hard. You have to go out hard and hope that you can hold it. The problem is there is a significant risk if you do that. You end up in a situation where you could run out of steam, but that's what you have to do. I'll get to the 200s are tomorrow. The next thing on the track will be the women's 400-meter hurdles opening round, then the men's. Then we get to the finals of the 1500 meters for men and women. That should be fire, especially the men. They have two of the podium from the Olympics last year. And then we'll have the hurdles final. Then the night we'll finish out with steeplechase and out for both men and women. 200 is tomorrow. Let's see. I think I missed some more comments. Can you explain to me how athletes can run some of the same times into a minus 1.5 win as they do? It happens. The win is also like an average thing sometimes, so it might be different at different points. I think they take it at, was it 10-meter gauges or four? I don't want to make mistakes now. It's slipping off the top of my head. Yeah. Sam Kendrick's on screen right now. Let's see what's going on with the pole vault here. All right, let's see. So yeah, 200 is tomorrow. Let me see whatever I miss here. Dina says NBC is ridiculous. If I was an American, so I would be pissed. They have the track and field rights for many years. They just don't do justice with it. There's some interesting questions about that. I don't know why. We can get into that on another show. I can work through some of the dynamics on that too. USA Track also has some issues too in terms of the way in which they promote the sport and what they ask, but we'll see. Mina, NBC wants you to pay with Peacock streaming instead of live broadcasting on NBC. I think that happens, right? And I have issues with how you sell the content. But one of the things that I think NBC has failed to do, and this is why track and field is still just an Olympic sport, right? In the Olympic year, they're going to promote this. They're going to do campaigns. They're going to do everything because the track is the most watched part of the sport in the Olympics. they could have capitalized on that. They could have given away watch all the Diamond League for free. They could do all these promotions, and especially in the Olympic year, to capture some of the audience that don't watch the sport the way many of you are here. Like I always say, I'm ingloriously indiscriminating. I will watch anything track and field. If you want to pelt stone, I'll probably do it. But there's a number of people who get into the space, especially in an Olympic year, and they have the responsibility of turning those people into regular fans. If they push it, they would actually make a lot more money than they're actually doing at the moment. Anna Cockrell on screen there. I'll get back to that in a second. Yeah. What's going on here? Yeah, so women's hurdles now on track. You're gonna have Cockrell, Tinsley, Stubler, Smith, Hebron, and Neebs. Did I miss the first semifinal? I did. I didn't see the first semifinal. What happened here? So it's the second semifinal. Maybe I missed the first one. The first one was run by Jasmine Jones, just for confirmation here. They were doing nonsense while this was happening. Anna Cockrell pulling away from the rest. She's coming off the top. I apologize, guys. I just got flustered there because I missed the first one. So Cockrell is coming home with about 10-meter lead on everybody here. She's gonna cruise through. She's gonna win this by a country mile. Easy run for her. Clock says 53.97, confirmed 53.97, 54.36 for. No, actually, Hebron has a 55.90 here. So the first two go through. So the first one was won by Jasmine Jones, 54.36. Then Wright, 56.25. So I didn't see the first one. Did anybody see that? Is Peacock doing something different from NBC? Let me see. Because for the life of me, I didn't see the first semifinal. I think that was when they were showing the women's 100 meters. Shot of Dalina Mohammed there. I just want to see if they're streaming differently on Peacock than they're doing on NBC. So you like track and field, you're watching like 5 streams at the same time. I think they're streaming the same thing at the same time. So I guess they probably just decided not to show the Jasmine Jones heat. Or did I get caught up in the comments? Yeah, thanks, Robert. I know I wasn't crazy. I mean, I'm following you guys on the comments, but I just didn't. Yeah. All right, let me get back to your comments here. Come on, it says what a track. I'm not seeing any track feeds on USTF. Okay, so the if you have the USTF app right now, they aren't showing the track and field portion because NBC has the rights to show that in the United States. If you're outside of the country, then you could actually watch it. The other streams that they're showing would be you can watch live the men's discus, the women's triple jump, the pole vault if you want. If you want to see everything else, you have to be outside of the country or watch it on one of the NBC platforms, which is either on terrestrial TV or through their streaming platform, Peacock. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening there, Daniel. They're screwed up on that. Yeah, the BI Strong is on it. Appreciate the the comments answering questions. Objectivity says English Gardner ran 11:12 into a minus 1.5 and only mustered 11:10 and 11:70. I think the Gardner thing is also explained by age, right? And she's unless you're gonna say when she ran the first one, it was, you know, the win wasn't the win, right? She was in that first one with Jefferson, right? If I'm remembering correctly. But I think it's hard for her, given her age, to kind of come back and deliver back-to-back performances like that. The original BI Strong says US track and field is a mess. That I agree. And Clark actually answered my question there, so thanks. It's the same, my sentiment there. Sherwood, have you seen Michael Johnson's latest rounds of interviews, especially the one with Justin Gatlin's channel? That man is good at bobbing and weaving. I saw that he was there. I didn't listen to it. Look, as I mentioned before, and I always say I took a lot of heat in the early rounds, but I also defended my heat. I had a journalist on the channel who broke the first story when they canceled the LA Slam. He and I, you know, we recorded a thing, we put it out. Some of you may have seen it on the channel. We spoke about other stuff that didn't make it into the video, and by then I realized there were some significant financial issues going on there. So yeah, it's all out now. The only thing I hope is that the athletes get their pay. I don't know if they did. Yesterday or the day before was the deadline. I haven't followed anything closely to suggest that everyone got pay, because I don't think you can recoup that if they don't have the money. So that's an interesting thing. Ferdinand says, well done, Anna. That was for the first race. Robert confirmed what I said. Objectivity, NBC decided not to show the first semi. This is just the kind of thing I'm saying. So, okay, you want to do it on TV, then why not just run it on the stream differently, you know? It's outrageous. Mina, they didn't show the women's first. Yeah, exactly. Winston Wilcox, they showed the women's 100 meters instead. How are you doing, Winston? All right, so this is the third semifinal on clock there. Mohammed running really well. I didn't really believe Mohammed had anything left this season. I thought it was just a swan song, but she started the Diamond League early and running beautifully well here. Mohammed is actually eating up the stag on everybody here. She's going to come off ahead of everyone with probably a few meters to spare here. This is really good running from Dalila here. She's ahead by 10 meters or so. There's no competition here. She's going to make this team as an individual person come in the final. Cruising there for Mohammed by herself. It's an embarrassment here in terms of how much. 53.81 is the time. 53.80 rounded down to official time. Crazy running there from Dalila Mohammed. Garrett in second in 55.93. It's crazy. So the summary is now available, I think, for the final, which would be Mohammed, Cockrell, Jones, Hebron, Garrett, Stubler, Wright, Glenn, and Smith. We'll get that on the screen in a second. I'll get back to some comments here. The original BI Strong says NBC, Nike, and USA Track and Field has its poster runners and don't care about other athletes. It's an interesting point. The exclamation mark from the original BI Strong. Objectivity says, I use English Garden as the example, but all those athletes in the negative didn't run the times they were significantly slower than with normal. Yeah, the win thing can be interesting, to be honest with you. Just a back shot there of Lesnar, I think there. I think she's in the sector going for round number 3 already with 18:51 for her shot. She has to significantly improve if she wants to get on the team. Right now, the standings is Jackson still 2084, Ewan 1994, and Ramsey 1956. That's not going to be an improvement. That's still 18 meters there for, yeah. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. Sometimes, as I was mentioning, I think I was going to do a video on this wind gauge thing, and I didn't do it one time. But I think they measure at different intervals. I don't know why they didn't turn around. I know last night some of us were being suspicious that at how fast they ran, but who knows? Ferdinand loves that Muhammad won. Sherwood 991 says Dalila might mess around and win a medal. I'm so pleased for her. Really good season for her. Happy to see it. I really didn't expect it. Many of us thought that she was just gonna just run the season, but she had other things in mind, and so she certainly is running really well. So I will just do the. I get it. Yeah, you're like I know you don't trust it. I know I'm trying to sidestep the conversation with a different answer there, but I know what you're saying. The problem is it's hard. It's hard to make those arguments because there's a collaboration process. The team doing the stuff is elite level people. I believe that USA Championships is prime time timing that handles their thing. I don't anticipate them making that kind of errors, right? So that's why look, we're gonna do if we get to a membership situation at some point, we'll do some members only live. Then we can say some things that we can't say, at least personally, I don't want to say out in public, right? We will work on that. Let's see. Let me add this to the screen right now. Right. So I guess I have the wrong thing on the screen. I wanted to show the summary of the women's hurdles. Next on the track will be men's 400-meter hurdles. We'll get to see Rai Benjamin and so on, and others in a second. So now NBC is going to show the men's 100-meter final, which means that they're not going to show the first 400-meter hurdles. Is that what they're telling us? You have trust issues. Track for all. Can Tia Clayton be put on the Jamaica 4x1 if she stays healthy? I think so. What is the process they have there? It's the top 4 and then it's like a selection afterwards. Is that how they do it? I believe so. Someone can confirm on the live. Yeah. The original BI is strong, not showing the men's, now showing the men's 100. I hate NBC. Yeah. All right, so that was the summary for the women's 400 hurdles. I didn't get a chance to put it up, and yeah. All right, let me see if I can see what's going on. The original BI song, I think, is the top 3, then the rest is selected. Right, okay, yeah. Thanks for that. I know it was either the top 3 or top 4, and they can select. So I think they can select the relay pool, and she can be added. And yeah. So just so you know, Dean won the first heat of the men's 400 meters in 47.76 ahead of Christopher Robinson. 47.76. I think both of them had the same time here. And I do hope they show this because I don't know what to say. These guys have shown us Kung Fu Kenny. You should have shown us last night. Or how about start the program early and show the races that you didn't show yesterday before competition starts? Imagine we just had a heat here and we have no knowledge of it. These guys are gonna get me upset on the live. I apologize for my bad behavior. Yeah, it is just utterly ridiculous. It's unacceptable. This is not how you cover a sport. They wouldn't do this to any other sport. So I'm not sure why they're doing this to track and field. And a sport that the United States is extremely good at. You know, it's not like a side sport for the country. Come on, I mean, do better. And now these idiots are going to give us a US Bank sports report. Why do we need a sports report in the middle of a live championship? The words I want to say on live, it's not, we can't. They're showing Davis Woodall's world lead 7:12. It's a fabulous performance. It's the best in the world this year. You could have shown this when it happened. Now we're seeing Anna Hall reading a book while guys are running on the track. Of course, Anna Hall's performance was fabulous yesterday, but you could have shown that on the track too yesterday. Or how about a recap show this morning before the track and field started? Carlton Collins says Delilah is one of the all-time greats in the 400-meter hurdles. She deserved to go out in a blaze of glory. Well said. Well said. We thought she was done, and she wasn't. And I'm happy that she's running this well. I hope she makes the team and finish on her terms. One of the greats. She's inspired a generation. She actually proved to people how fast you could go. She's the first to kind of push the world record. You know, people like Sydney and Anna Cockrell and the likes, they all speak highly of her, especially not only as a inspirational athlete, but an athlete who is good in the mentorship capacity. So anytime you see Delilah on the track is, you always have to be happy with that. These guys are showing JJK handing out medals. We saw that last night. And now we're gonna get the love story with Hunter Woodall and Tara Davis Woodall, Nike fashion on display while we can't see the races. It is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous, Dina. The original BI Strong, they are doing this while men's 400 meter hurdles is running. No, I would really like to have a good anyway. They're now back on the track now with heat number 2 of the men's 400 meter hurdles. Just saw Trevor Bassett there. So it's going to be Singh, Smith, Allen, McRae, Gentles, Bassett, Bailey, and Rosser. First heat is 47.76 from Dean and Robinson, 47.76. Both of them credited with the same time, and they also qualified. No mention of this by these NBC guys. They don't like number 1, but they're going straight to number 2. Settling in the blocks right now. It's a clean start. Only the first 2, as we realize, will make it through. That Bailey guy is running well too. This is not going to be fast. It's like 22. What is this? We're going around a bend already. It's like 26. Oh, Gentles just hit the hurdle there. CJ Allen there kind of moving. Oh, guys dropping off the track and rolling and people hurdling off over them. It's going to be Allen and Bailey right here. So Bailey from the Army man there running 49 flat. Allen 49.04. And Rossa 49.35. This is extremely slow. That is really slow in comparison to the first heat. You have to think no one will. Well, let's see. The third place person here is Rossa and 49.35. In the first heat, Rash had 49.50. I'm not quite sure why these guys are running so slow. The original BI Strong. That race was all over the place. It was bad. People hitting hurdles, people falling. That guy there was also, he had to hurdle over the guy in order not to fall himself. So there's one more heat on track that will feature Rai Benjamin, who started the season off with a bang. One of the favorites for the title this year, the Olympic champion. As usual, it's going to come down to him, Benjamin, that is, Dos Santos, and Karsten Varham. the men's 400-meter hurdles. Those three guys are way out there in terms of ability. But we could see some new faces in the sport this year in terms of making their way. The Nigerian guy was running well earlier this season. What's his name? Ezekiel Nathaniel. I think he had a 47 and change. Yeah. So outside of that, he's been doing. He cracked up some good times, a bunch of Nigerian national records. Maybe Rashawn Clark can do something. Yeah. But it's kind of hard to look away from Benjamin, Dos Santos, and Varham for the medals, unless something changes. All right. So coming up soon will be the Olympic champion. Let's put the start list up there right now, and then we'll get to that in a second. So after this, we'll get 1500-meter finals for women and men. It's going to be a cracker. And then we'll get 100-meter finals for hurdles for women, and then steeplechase. So it's coming down to the end for today as well. But excitement for sure. Can't say I'm not really up on the 3000 steeplechase for the Americans here. As I mentioned, when it comes to the women, it's hard to look beyond Yavi, Chematai, Cheretich. They are way ahead of the pack for everybody. Then you can throw in a couple of the Ethiopians and so on. On the men's side, it's interesting too. We'll see what we get there. We have to see what kind of shape Rooks will show up in. He's pretty good, but yeah, can make some predictions if you want for men's 1500, women's 1500 as well. The hurdles, I could put up the starting lineup for the hurdles too, so we can think about the lane positions there. Jones in 1, Clemens in 2, Armstrong 3, Stark 4, Russell 5, Harrison 6, Marshall 7, Johnson 8, and Hooven 9. Just looking at the triple jump here that they're showing, but I had it on the screen early. This might be our earlier jump they're showing. I don't think that's a live jump right there. Huh. The guys at USA Track has decided to put these things back here. They're showing the... For whatever reason, USA Track is showing again the hurdles, which I don't think they should be doing that in the US, but whatever. I'll watch it there. All right, so first to go through here in the 400-meter hurdles. You imagine Rai Benjamin is going to walk away with this easily. It's probably going to be a training run for him. Yeah, Benjamin is already moving here. He's motoring. This Bracken skid's running really good as well. Or is this Blackwood? I don't know why they're showing the camera on this kid alone. Oh, that's a different race. Yeah. So yeah, Rai Benjamin looking really good. He's smooth here. He's running around the corner. So Benjamin ahead by a good 10 or 10 meters or so. He's taking a check. No one is close to him. He's not even running. It's really easy for him. 47-45 for Rai Benjamin. Caleb Dean in second there, and 40. Not Caleb Dean, sorry, that's the other race. Blackwood in 49-12. And Bracken's 49-73. So Benjamin and Blackwood automatically go through. And a bunch of guys qualify from heat number 2 into the final, along with Rash from heat number 1. So that's the results there from heat number 3. Benjamin taking it, looking back, looking to the side, ahead of Blackwood. And the summary for tomorrow's final is this: Benjamin, Dean, Robinson, Bailey, Allen, Blackwood, Rossa. It's going to be an easy win for Rai Benjamin tomorrow. That 47-45 is the easiest 47-45 you'll probably see all weekend. Rockhill says Blackwell's father ran for Jamaica. Oh, is it? Is it that in those 4x4 from back in the day? I didn't realize it was his son. Interesting. I didn't know that. Did not know that. All right, so next on the track is going to be the final of the women's 1500 meters. That's coming up in about 4 minutes. Should be really good. Sinclair Johnson, McLean, I think Nikki Hiltz. It's going to be interesting race there. Objectivity. People think we boast, but Jamaicans' footprint all up and down USA track, UK, Canada track. No, that's true. That's true. Michaela Rose too, right? Isn't her dad Jamaican? I think, or so. There's a bunch of that happens all the time. Yeah. It's like that weird stat that we used to happen. Well, I guess if you go back to 88, 92, and 96, the guys who crossed the line first, I guess you got to exclude Ben Johnson after the the disqualification, but 92 to 96, those guys were all Jamaican. Linford Christie, Donovan Bailey. 88, I guess. We have to scratch that. Objectivity and soon to be Turkey. And Ferdinand Sinclair Johnson, my favorite, but Nicky Hills has guts. Yeah, I think Johnson already 356 this year, right? And you can never count out Nicky Hills. She'll find a way. It should be an interesting run. I want to go back to another USA track stream right now. I'm gonna check the Discus. Right, the pole vault right now is at Kendrick's has 572. Yeah, so still a couple of rounds. Ferdinand says Heather McLean and Emily Mackay also medal. Yeah, they're interesting. You know, like Mackay, McLean. You can't count them out too. I mean, women's 1500 meters, really interesting space. As we know, Kipiegan leads a lot. 348 this year, 348.68. You got Welter J, Jess Hull always finds a way. Good of Sagai was running really fast too this year, 353. So Hunter Bell also ran well. She has a 354 too. So to be in the mix, you have to be running really, really fast. Yeah. All right, so they're getting ready for this 1500 meter final. Let's see how quick they get out here. So Barton takes them out at 50, 31 for 300. I think Let's see where they are now, because I just switched the screen to a different one. So at 800 meters, they're about 2:15.90 here. That looks good. Barton's still in the lead ahead of Sinclair Johnson. Nikki Hilt's in the mix right now. I think that's Mackay right there too. She's also stepping up out wide. Looks like she wants to get into a pole position here. Hilt's inside too. They got to start making some move now. So it's Barton, Johnson, Mackay, Hiltz, and McLean as well right there. So this is going to be a cracker in terms of they have to start pushing. We're at the bell right now. Oh, someone fell. Oh my God. Ooh. She fell and then tripped the other woman and she landed right on her face. So Johnson is right there. Nikki Hiltz also making a move. So a bunch of athletes bunched together here now. Got to make some movement if you want to win this. Nikki Hiltz is right behind Sinclair Johnson. Emily Mackay also actually has to make a run. So Johnson is in the inside, but she's grimacing, and Nikki Hiltz is going to take this. She's going to be the American champion. She's opening up on Johnson right now. And Mackay is coming, but it's going to be Hiltz, Johnson, and Mackay. 4:03.15. Not particularly fast, but gets the job done. (4:03.15) for Nikki Hiltz. Sinclair Johnson leading for most of the race, but in the end didn't have enough. Emily Mackay at 4:04.38, and Heather McLean just nowhere, didn't have enough to stay in this race. So those three will represent the United States in Tokyo. This was a more tactical run here from Nikki Hills. She bided her time, and then on the home stretch found another gear, and she's off to the World Championships. I guess there's some inside shot there between objectivity and average Joe. All right, so that's it there. We're going to get to the men's final. This should be good. I'll get the starting lineup on screen. It's going to be quick for the men's coming up. They have to work hard here. Someone won't be happy. Men's 1500 meters, very competitive space. Habaz obviously with the fastest time in the world this year at 3:27. Koich also has a 3:27. But a bunch of guys in the 3:20, a couple guys in 3:29 and 3:28. So it should be good. Also, we'll see what happens at British Championships tomorrow with Josh Kerr. No, Ferdinand says Nagus Haka Kessler. I could see that. I could definitely see that too. I feel like Yona Koich could do something if he finds a way to get in the mix, but Hobbs Kessler, Cole Hocker, Yard Nagoose, it's hard to look beyond those guys. They got the experience, they got medals. Yeah. Kessler lazy this season. You expected more from him. I agree on that. I think he hasn't looked anywhere close to his best. But I'm not writing him off. Average Joyce and True Gabby Thomas, Sonny Richard Ross actually have Jamaican heritage. Yeah. I think Sonny Richards was born in Jamaica too. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Didn't she go to prep school in Jamaica too? Yeah. Only Ferdinand got predictions for this 1500-meter final. Robert says she went to Voss Prep. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I knew that was something. I knew that was the case. Yeah, objectivity also confirming. Yeah. Just checking out Bella Whitaker's post race interview. She talks about last year. She was very disappointed, and I'm just reading the closed captions on this. She was happy with the race. Yeah, it's a good story for Whitaker here. Maybe let's see what I don't know what her sister would think, but Cole Hocker. He's on screen right now. This is going to be a good race. You don't want to miss this. Yard Nagoose, bronze medalist from last year. Hocker, big time champion. Hobbs Kessler around two. This should be a quick race unless they're going to go more tactical, but I would expect that given the difficulty, not the difficulty, but given the level of competition, we should see a sub 30, sub 330, you would hope. Also, guys, I'm doing a live with Leighton Levy on Thursday. Make sure you put on the notifications for that. If you got some special questions you want, you can send them in advance. But we're doing one on Thursday night. All right, so they're off and running right now. Ferdinand says win will be sub 330. You would hope. I hope it has to be. Yeah. I know it's your favorite there. You always got the digits on those. All right. So Nagoose is in the lead right now. I think that's Hobbs Kessler right beside him. They're going to go through at 400 meters in just a little bit right here. And It's Nagoose. Haka is around there in the mix too. So they went through at around 56.23 there for Nagoose, Hobbs Kessler, Siati, and Cole Haka right behind him. So, okay pace. But Nagoose is trying to push this, I think. And yesterday, so Strand looked good yesterday, if I remember correctly. So you want to make sure you're in the mix. You anticipate Nagoose pushing this, obviously, because Haka has the best kick of all of them. Hobbs Kessler right behind him. 154.59 at 800 meters. That's pretty decent. Everyone bunched together there. Nagoose, Kessler, Siata, Siatic, Haka. I want to see where you get at about 1200 here. If we get anywhere like 249-ish there, 250, this might be quick. Okay, so it's like 250 at 1200. Oh, this is going to be quick. A bunch of guys battling together. Now, Coach is also actually making a move. Ethan's trying in the mix too. Where's Haka? Haka is moving too. Now, Goose is making a big stuff. Haka is trying to go a little bit wide and he's checking. Look at Yona Coach too. I told you we can't forget about him too. Coach is going way wide like he's going to make a move on all these guys. Look at Ethan Strand too. Haka is going to get left behind. And Nagoose doesn't look like he has anything left. Look at Strand. Strand is going to win this, or is he? It's going to be Coach, then Strand, then Haka. The Goose won't make the team. It wasn't a sub 330. It was a 330.17. This is a shocker. Hobbs Kessler in fourth. Yared Nagoose fifth. Cole Haka holding on just to make that team 330.37. What happened to Yared Nagoose? Even Hobbs Kessler there. Strand looked good yesterday. I didn't realize he had it in him. Yeah, that is a big upset. Really? Yeah. Well, he said the possibility of the woman. You can ask him too. I think, yeah, if you're around. Yeah, I think it's I already released it, but we haven't done the thumbnail and stuff yet. But I think it's this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Carlton Collins. It's interesting that some of the top performers appear to have benefited from Grand Slam track meetings. Sad that it folded. They seem to be sharper. Kenny, Melissa, Dos Santos, Chris Bailey. I don't know. I think those athletes would be in good shape regardless, because they would have either done other meets. But unless you're trying to say that they had to travel less because they didn't have to go Europe or something like that. But I'm still not sure about that. But I get where you're going. Big upset there for Yona Koich. 330, 17. I thought he was, from what I saw earlier this season, that he could be in the mix. But Ethan Strand here, you have to think he took his chance. 330, 25. He almost won the race, but Koich pipped him. And Hocker had to do a lot of work just to make sure he made the team. Hobbs Kessler and Yardner Goose, they certainly would be disappointed by that kind of run. Oh, that's a shocker, to be honest with you. For the Goose not to be on the team, it's a big shocker there. Big, big shocker. Next on the track, in 3 minutes, will be the women's 100-meter hurdles. That's the starting lineup. Prediction time, guys. Kind of hard to make. Kind of hard. I feel like Grace Stark is going to make the team. From what I saw, Masai Russell should make the team too. But can we count out Aliyah Armstrong? Can Kenny Harrison find a way to get in the team as usual? It's gonna be one of those. What about Alicia Johnson? It's hard to call. Cheryl says trial times have always been fake. I don't. You gotta give me some more details on that and let me know where you're going with that. Objectivity says, will the hurdles be clean? Well, it may not be. People might crash into it. You gotta clean. You wanna. I think it comes down to composure. If you start hitting them, it could be a problem. Average Joe says, wow, no Nagoose, no Kessler, big shocker. That was a shocker for sure. Ferdinand says Stark, Russell, Armstrong. Wish Kenny make it. Yeah. I like what Grace Stark did early this season in the Diamond League for sure, because to get to this, to make the American team is tough. You can all, if you win the Diamond League, you can also get in. Defending champion is Daniel Williams from Jamaica, so Jamaica will have 4. Potentially, US could have 4 if someone wins the Diamond League. Ferdinand responding to Joe saying he's shocked. Anika says Russell, Harrison Stark. Interesting. You have Kenny beating Grace. Whatever it is, we might see a few people crashing out too. You just never know because this is going to be hot. All right, they're getting in the blocks right now. That's a clean start there. Johnson attacks. Masai Russell looking good. Grace Stark also hurling clean, but Masai Russell ahead of everybody. Stark running with her. And it looks like Johnson. It might be Johnson. 12:23 is the flash time. 12:22 confirmed. Grace Stark, 12:31. Johnson just beating out Kenny. 12:36, 12:37 for Harrison. Marshall, 12:40. Armstrong, 12:25. That was really good running there from Masai. She's not hitting anything. She's cleanly hurdling. Stark also running well, but not the best hurdling for Stark. Kenny was working hard to get back into the race. She was trying her best there. Ferdinand says, well done, Masai. Man, Kenny missing out by 100 of a second. Anika says, Kenny start, set her back. I agree. She was left in the blocks there. Yeah. But it's still, it's so competitive. Ferdinand says, imagine 12:37 gives you the play gives you the place. USA hurdles tough. Sorry. Yeah. I guess gives you fourth place, you mean. Okay, yeah. No, you can't make the team and you run 12:37. How crazy is that? It's outrageous. Outrageous, guys. The only thing left on the track will be later on in another 13 minutes. They'll have steeplechase for men and steeplechase for women. But that's the team. Masai Russell, 12:22, a 0.7 win. She has the fastest time in the world this season, just ahead of Jones there, who was a no-show here because of injury. But Stark to making that team after having an impressive season as well, especially on the Diamond League circuit. And Alicia Johnson there. Look at that. 12:36 to 12:37. Cheryl says Lela knows how to make a team happy for her. No, it is special there. It's a tough team. It's the toughest team to make, and I will say Kenny got to get on that circuit. Try to get in. What's the standing in the Diamond League? Let's see. So only Gray Stark has qualified for the Diamond League final. Harrison's not even in the mix. Oh no, actually she's 9th with 9 points. So if you're Kenny, you gotta run some Diamond League. I'll just show you what I'm. So that's the Diamond League standing right now. And if Kenny can do something, she could potentially get herself into that final. And if she wins it, she'll get the bye into the World Championships. So 45.80 here for Davis Woodall, it looks like, in this par event. I guess Luka Doncic just signed a massive extension on his LA contract. Interesting. Robert says Harrison's national career is over. I don't know if I will. I can say that. I mean, if she wins the Diamond League final, she gets into the World Championships. But you have to do that. But she's getting to that point. I know what you're saying. Yeah, she's been around for a while, but still clearly competitive. I'll bring that up for sure, objectivity. But I hope you'll be on it so that way you will be able to. I can call on you. Objectivity says you didn't think Luka would sign an extension with the Lakers. No, I think he would, but he looks like he shed some weight too. Yeah. I think it creates a problem too for. I don't want to get off the basketball, but it creates a problem for the salary structure too and what they got to do to win there. But they have to stick with him. Yeah. Anika says 1237 is not chicken scrap. That is really fast. 100%. 100%. Because I think this is the crazy thing or the unbelievable thing in terms of in the context of where the sport has gone. So it's no longer good to be in the 12-5 range. This is what the sport has said to you. 12-4. Now 12-3s looks like you're just like, where are you going with that? And the truth is, you cannot rock up to a major championships without being in a 12-2 shape to feel confident that you can compete for a medal. And I think it's only a matter of time we get the world record going again, maybe with the right conditions. But increasingly, more and more women have to be coming to national championships or major championships thinking that if I can't run 12.2, maybe I won't win. Maybe you don't have to run it, but your body needs to be able to do it. And this is what's happening. You think so, objectivity? You think it's too much? Wow, Ferdinand says Karila 608 Greek championships. That is great because I'm not following that. Thanks for bringing that in. I like that. 608, that's big time. I think he has the ability. I don't know how far he can go. I feel like Karilos could probably go 615. Is that a stretch, you think? I've been pleading for a while that we need a lot more men going over 6 meters in the pole vault. And a couple of guys can do it. Karila seems to be the guy that can give Mondo the most trouble in terms of when he decides to start jumping. Not to be competitive with Mondo, but you just never know. It's certainly that if a guy can go 608 or in a major championships or 610, Mondo won't win the world championship at 6 meters and then start playing around with a world record. It will make it a little bit more exciting. So that's good. It's a big jump. Is there any clips of that? Let me check to see if I can find a clip of that. That's a big jump there. 608. After if anybody has a clip, let me know. But yeah. Objectivity says those are really crazy times. Yeah. Big time. Ferdinand agrees 615 is his prediction too. I think that might be ceiling. He's a big dude too, but yeah. Average Joe says Lakers ain't going to win anything with a 41-year-old run. Once he's gone, they'll have a chance. Probably true. Yeah, for sure. I think they have to seriously think about that post LeBron thing and how they structure the team. But yeah. So only 2 more events for the night. 3,000 steeplechase for men and women. I did see that Anika. Side note: Ravon Paul ruled out of T10 with a wrist. I saw it earlier today. I didn't agree with stripping Powell of the captaincy in T20. I'm not sure I'm agreeing with what's going on at all in West Indies cricket, but I have no idea. I just don't know. I don't think they can manage the spin from Pakistan. I fear they're going to lose again. And the batters aren't figuring out ways to turn over the score quickly enough, and they're getting bogged down. Because they started decent the other night, but once the power play was ended, it was like nothing there. I did say have you seen the picture Braun posted with the Clippers name and Logan? I did not see that. I don't even follow. I don't think I follow him on social media. I hardly are on it. Yeah, I did talk about this. Ferdinand Caudry did a 485 today. That was a big jump at the British Championships. Probably the best thing for the day. And only Mall has a better jump this year, right? That 491 or better vault. So yeah, tomorrow we'll see the Mall sisters as you're mentioning for the USA tomorrow. That should be good. Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow will also be a bunch of things tomorrow for the it will end with the 110-meter hurdles. We have 5,000 meters, 200-meter final for men and women, 5,000 for men. Men's shot put tomorrow. That should be good. You got Arthur Dahl, Steen is there, Joe Kovacs, Awatunde would be there too. He hasn't thrown really, really far this season. But we'll see. Pritchard Pripper is also there too. I think he has a 22 this season too. So that should be a good competition. Excellent. We hopefully by the time we get to the World Championships, Cowboy would be ready, but I'm not sure if he will. He's been battling a lot of injuries there. Ryan Krauser, that is. And then 800-meter finals tomorrow. That should be a hot race. Bryce Hopper, Josh Holloway. I think Donovan Brazier will try to make that team, but Brandon Miller looks good too. So lots of interesting things come tomorrow for sure. Anika says agreed, but some of these decisions have really been questionable more than usual. Yeah, there's some. I understand the changes that Cricket West Indies was trying to do. I'm not sure why they got rid of Kohli. I don't understand that from the coaching perspective. I said that in my last video too, or in part of it. And to go to a situation where you have one guy overseeing the three formats of the game, I think that's a bit too much, especially when that's not always the way other teams do it. And I think in the context of the West Indies, they aren't really good at anything right now. So it's a bigger job for one guy to be overseeing this. How big is his data analysis team? How much cricketers can you watch and think about the game? And I know at the international level, you do less work, but still. So I figured that was a too much to put on one person. And frankly, I'm not sure what Sam is, if Sammy was the right guy for Test cricket there. Then this whole stripping of what they're doing in the batting stuff that they structured in the Australia series, I have no idea what that is. The bowling stuff, I can go with it. I could go with leaving out Kimara Roach. I think the bowling unit delivered more than most people would think. You think about it, Jaden Seas, I think he moves the ball more lateral movement than any other person in world cricket right now. He's fabulous. Shamar Joseph. Alzari, if he bowls the way he did, like in, say, Jamaica, then he could be very dangerous. And he just any kind of other combination there. I think that part is good. And for whatever it's worth, they took 20 wickets, so you can't complain about that. And they had the Australians on the rope every time they bowled. Batting, crisis. Despicable. So something has to work out there. Yeah. Ferdinand, I'm looking forward to see. Yeah, Fisher and Young, that should be good. Yeah, Nico Young looked good the last night or in the first night. Dina did the final of the 100-meter hurdles. Oh, you missed one. You missed one there. I'll put it up for you. You missed a cracker there. That was a classic race. Masai Russell comfortably in the end, winning in 12:25. Grace Stark in for second. Not the best hurdling from Stark, but she would be happy to be on the team. And no, I was showing the wrong thing there. I gave you the wrong thing. Where is it? I gave you the opening round. I apologize. I put the wrong thing on the screen. Yeah, Alicia Johnson there, winning. Not winning, but just 100 of a second faster than Kenny. So 12:36 to 12:37 there. Marshall 12:40. Those are really good times there. Yeah, it was a classic race. What's the bet on Noah Lyles completing the 200 meters tomorrow? Or what's the odds rather? Well, 3,000 meters steeplechase up on track. Kenneth Rooks, they're showing right now. Anytime, Dina. So where is this thing? I'll put the so these are the guys in the 3,000 steeplechase. So we'll see what we get here. So they're off here. They're gonna hit the watermark earlier too here, I believe, because it's kind of it's on what on yeah, it's on the inside on this track. Yeah. Men's steeplechase is always in some special place. It's gonna be interesting as usual. El Bakali with the world lead, 8 minutes 70. He did that in I think he outsprinted what's that guy's name? The German guy that really ran well there in Rabat. I have to look it up. That was a good race back in some diamond leagues ago. All right. So Corrigan went through in I think 151.62 for lap 2. Lap 1 he did in 39.74. So there's Stokes right there. I'm trying to see where Rooks is. Rooks is way down right now. And now they just minimize the screen. I can't see anything because they're showing me pole vault. So I don't really know what's the use of me even watching this. I'll get back into some comments here. Sherwood says, depending on how Kenny runs in the semi, Noah might decide not to run the final. That is a good point. I actually think, regardless, I don't think Kenny can. I think Kenny will win the race. The question is, what are they working on? I would say if Lyles is in shape in terms of he's not shape, if he's injury free, which it looks like he is, he's just probably a bit behind on where he is. He probably wants to run these rounds. He should run the final because you won't get another opportunity to kind of test yourself like this. He could run some one-off races, but just getting into the rounds here, he should run it. Yeah. Whether Noah runs a final depend on if Noah think he'll lose, he won't show up. He wants to keep that title. Yeah, Noah talks about the 200 as his baby, I guess. I guess similar to how Usain Bolt takes the 200 or took the 200 meters really seriously. Is Lies the second best 200-meter athlete ever without an Olympic title? He has all those world championships. So third fastest ever. No Olympic titles. Interesting. Ferdinand with the news: Julian Weber won javelin throw at the German Championships, 84-36 podium candidate. Yeah, I mean it could be, but I'm hoping that by the time we get to handing out medals in Tokyo, we're looking at some 90-meter throws. But Weber is a excellent thrower. I think he could be on the podium for sure. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's also, what is it? He had a 91 this year, right? When he beat. There was a meet. Which meet was it where Neeraj Chopra finally went into the 90-meter club, right? And then Weber beat him. Am I right on this? Let me look it up because I haven't. I can't. Yeah, it was in Doha, right? Yeah, look at it. Chopra had done that 90-23, and I think it was on the final throw. Weber threw 91-06. Yeah, yeah. It's. I think those. I think. Yeah, 84 won't. I don't think he will make the podium, but he's already thrown 90 meters. He has that in him this year. We'll see. I think it will be competitive regardless. Chopra, Nadim hardly competes. We'll see if he comes through. We have, Anderson Peters still around, but he's been plagued with a little injury here and there, so we'll see. Yeah, they're at commercial break for this 3,000 meters. It's going on. But it's kind of hard to see. I think is that Rooks in the lead now? Let's see. Yeah, Rooks has taken the lead right now. There's about a couple of laps left to go. It looks like he's motoring now. He's ahead of the rest, but I think Keter is right behind him too, and Malakaski. So it's not a big separation there. Updike, I think, is in the mix too. Is that Updike? Yeah, yeah. Anika says no, he needs races, but I don't think he doesn't want to lose the 200 right now. Well, it's better to lose the 200 in in here than in Tokyo. So if he's hiding from these guys, it wouldn't be a good idea. Ferdinand, yes, both 90-meter club in Doha. Yeah. They're going around for the bell right now. We're getting to, this is what, 7:27 there. This spy might be quickish. So Rooks now is starting to press. He's opening up now like a 3-meter lead on Malakaski. I think Rooks is gonna win this. It's probably gonna be. It's gonna be like 3:9. It's gonna be 3:20 and change for sure. So Keita is there too. Rooks, Malalski, and Keita there. Can he hold on? He does. So those three. So Rooks is there. The other two guys are at 326.77, 329 flat. That was those times aren't pretty quick. They're really slow. I don't think, yeah. Keita and Mikulski needs to find a Diamond League or two to make the standard. Rooks doesn't seem to be in the very best of shape he needs to be in, especially when you compare what he looked like last year in Paris. But he still has time. I think he'll probably get better. One more event for the evening, guys. Women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. That's a starting lineup there. I'll just leave it on screen. Rooks doesn't look. He looks happy, but it looks like he was a bit tired. Are these guys serious? They basically stopped the coverage. I think they are not showing this unless they put it on Peacock. Let me see. Maybe. Well, we could recap some stuff in the meantime. Because the end, I mean, I was watching on NBC, I think, and I don't know. I just switched to Peacock on my iPad, and they said coverage will resume shortly. So I assume they're gonna come back and finish off. But this is like they're begging you to, you're asking someone a favor to cover a meet. Well, in the meantime, let's do some recap. Gotta say, Masai Russell delivered when it matters. She's heading into the World Championships. She started the season over Grand Slam looking well. Grace start making the team. Johnson, too bad for Kenny. Perhaps one of the Americans can find their way on the team by winning a Diamond League title. 1500 meter final, a shocker for me. Cole Hocker working really hard just to make the team. No Hobbs Kessler, no Yared Nagus making the team. So it's Strand and Koech there delivering. I thought they would have gone sub 330, but three guys doing 330. Interesting there. Women's a little bit more tactical, and Sinclair Johnson was trying to push it through, but Nikki Hiltz in the end doing the job, and she made it alongside Johnson and Mackay. No spot for Heather McLean. Yeah. 400 meter final, Jacor Patterson running a respectable time, 44.16. You can't really complain about that. He's already gone sub 44 for the season. Chris Bailey making it through there to 44.43. McRae also getting on the team. just edging out Vernon Norwood, who probably would be upset with himself. McRae also a sub 44 man this season. So we'll see. Sadie McLaughlin delivered. She ran really hard. I think she was after the American record, but couldn't quite get there. Bella Whitaker making sure she made the team, and Aaliyah Butler. The rest, they have some questions to answer. Likewise, Alexis Holmes, not quite sure what's happening there. Britton Wilson, I thought would have run a bit better, but it wasn't to be. So those are the women there. Shot put, Chase Jackson, she's throwing really big throws this season. Can't complain about that. Yeah. Yeah. Can't complain. 2084, that's big time throwing. She's already with a 2095 and a or 2094 for the season, I think. Somewhere there. Jess Ramsey and Maggie Ewan will join her. Women's shot put, you can't miss that at the World Championships. It's going to be outrageous. You're thinking about even the Olympic champion not throwing particularly well in Ogunleye, but she might show up. You know, the Canadians have Sarah Mitten. It's going to be good. Really be good. They finally came back on Peacock, so they will show it out here. And yeah, pole vault, Miller 592, Kendricks 572. Interesting. Triple jump, Jasmine Moore won with 1468. Probably a bit disappointed. She's the only one with a world championship standard. Didn't make the long jump team, but the long jump team was really hard to make. But she'll be a representative. So good stuff there. So the last thing on track is the steeplechase, and then we can get out there. Objectivity says, I didn't realize Masai was already 25. I thought she was 22 or 20. Oh, she's that old. I didn't realize that either. Let me see. Yeah, makes sense. She was born in 2000. I even forgot she ran at Bullis. So women's steeplechase will come up. I don't anticipate any worldly times here. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I don't think anyone's getting close to the world lead. Yavi has an 845. Certainly no one here is capable of that. I don't think I'll be shocked if people went sub 9 minutes here. Yeah. I'll be shocked. I don't think anybody is capable of doing that here. I'll be shocked if they go sub 9.5. I'm just looking at this Masai Russell race again. Our hurdling was superb here. Papine, what's up, man? How you doing? We at the very end here. The live is actually dying down. But we always have a good time. Women's steeplechase on track right now. That's the final event for the evening here. Hope you're doing good. So Wayment is in the lead right now, ahead of Napoleon and Jennings. So about 1:53:10 for the first for the second lap. Well, at least the time at that time, yeah. So about 3 minutes and change for about 1,000 meters. So I don't know. This might be. I feel like them. I feel like they could probably run. I mean, it's still early for me to guess here, but maybe 9 minutes and maybe 9 minutes 20 could happen here at this pace. They could step it up. I think. Yeah. You're welcome. 200. No 200 meters today. Tomorrow is a 200 meters. I can put that up a little bit. The 200. What will happen tomorrow? This is scheduled for tomorrow. Tomorrow they're gonna start off with first round of the men's 200 meters, 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard. Then the women's first round will go through, and that basically they're gonna just probably take top two from that, I think, and then the fastest and go straight into a final. So that's what they'll do, and then they'll have semifinals for the 110-meter hurdles, finals for 800 meters, men and women, 400-meter hurdles, final for women, then men, including men's shot put, and then the 200 meters and in between some 5,000 meters for men and women. And the 110 hurdles close out the show. Yeah, this is the last event right now, Kimani. The steeplechase going on. And I have to see. I took my eye off of it a little bit, so I'm not sure who's in the lead right now. Let me see. I think it's still Wayment in the lead, but I have to. Yeah, that's Wayment there. I think Napoleon is actually moving up right now. Ferdinand says, I don't see the gold and silver medalists going sub 329 in Tokyo. Coach Lars looks good this season. Kerr and Hocker still there. Can't speak for Jakob. Yeah, Jakob is an interesting one. We don't know what we'll get from him. He's been injured and kind of delaying stuff. Yeah, we'll get. I guess is Josh running tomorrow? Josh Kerr running tomorrow, right? We'll get a sense. Yeah, the men's 15 this year isn't exciting to the level of the times, but I still think it's going to be an intriguing competition. So we'll look at it. Nevada says Vernon Norwood fourth again. I was hoping he would make his first 400 team in a major championship. We'll see him in a 4x4 relay. Yeah, this time I think he'll be kicking himself because he should have made it. I don't think he ran the first part of the race aggressively enough. He was fighting on the home stretch, but that is not where you want to do the fight. You should be more in a relaxation phase there. Yeah. All right. So at 2,000 meters, we're looking at 6:12:51 right now for Laurie. I think is now in the lead, or Holloway Laurie. They have to push this because if you want to make the 3,000 meter thing, you have to push this. They gotta go 9:18 and better. So we're going to about 2 laps now. So it's Laurie, Napoleon, Mitchell, Wayment. They have to start pushing. I don't think they can. Oh, oh yeah, this is they were replaying the fall in the water jump area there. Hyde fell earlier in the water jump, so she's gone. So it's Laurie, Napoleon, Mitchell, and Constantine. Laurie's trying to pick the pace up right now. I think she's pushing. She's heading to the final lap right now. Let's see what the time is. It's gonna be like 8 minutes and change here. So that's like 8 minutes 58. They could make no, I think this is gonna be slow. Unless she starts to push this. This won't make the standard for those who don't have it. But I think Laurie has the standard already. Napoleon doesn't. So well, actually, they will make the standard. What am I saying? This is gonna be fast. Some backstretch here at 8:36. This might be. This is gonna be 9. This is gonna be sub 9:11 for sure if they continue at this speed. So Laurie's actually making a move. Laurie's coming there. Napoleon rather. Napoleon doesn't have a standard, so she has to work hard. They're gonna make this. It's gonna be 8:57. Yeah, this is gonna be 9 mid nines here. Definitely 9:11 or so. Oh, 9:09:10 is the flash time. Yeah, it's Laurie wins this. Napoleon, Mitchell. 9:09:14, 9:10, 96, 9:11:36. Wayment, who was in it for the early stages, she faded away in the end, along with Constantine. I lost them in the last part there, so I didn't know. I'm not quite sure what happened. I have to see a replay on that. Asira says, I still believe that Toby Emerson is going to win the women's 100-meter hurdles again. I can't call that. I understand where you're coming from, but I can't even say if Masai Russell would win, or even it's wide open for me. But I will say Amazon looks good. She improved. She went 12:45. Then she went quicker than that afterwards, right? You'd have to like her chances to. I mean, even I know she hasn't run sub 12.3 either, but Megan Tapper started to look really good too. Back-to-back good 12.3 performances from the Jamaica Championships into the Diamond League circuit recently. So there are a number of athletes that can stake claim to that. So it's hard. It's hard to yeah. You're like, just like I said, Whittaker and Butler made it. No, yeah, you call it. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been a great day. I always appreciate everyone hanging out on the live. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do another one tomorrow. I said I was coming for all of this. Yeah. Yeah, the steeplechase standard is 9:18, so they all made it. They all made it. Yeah. Actually, yeah. They all made the standard. At first I thought they wasn't going to do it, and then on the last lap I didn't calculate. I was miscalculated. I was like, there's no way they're going to make this, but they did. Yeah. So it's pretty good run for them there. Still, steeplechase if you're going to be competitive, you have to go sub 9 minutes. I'm not sure any of these women can. The gold medals are going to be decided between Yave, Cheritic, Chematai, still in the mix, even though she might be getting up there. Yeah, there is the Kenny and Limongi as well. So you just never know. It's too competitive there. I don't think any of these women can hang with those girls, but we'll see. Ferdinand, appreciate you on the channel as usual. Appreciate everybody stopping in. For those of you who don't comment too, I like you a lot. I really appreciate your engagement. And if you get your opinions out, I'll tackle them. We'll put them on the screen and we have a good time. I'm gonna call it for this evening. I'm gonna watch some cricket later on. Who knows? I might feel inspired and do a watch along for cricket. I highly doubt it, but Anika might force me to do it. And yeah, I'll see people tomorrow where we'll get to see 200 meters, some 400-meter hurdles, and 110-meter hurdles, along with shot put and a bunch of other events. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your evening, depending on where you are, or maybe it's good night for most of you if you're on the other side of the world. But it's been my pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.